So day 2 of the pregnancy diaries. Wow, it's sunk in a bit more today. Me and Jason spent the majority of yesterday evening talking about things and joking about the scenario to try and ease our worries a bit, ease our nerves, as well as just sort of make light of the situation, because I think both of our minds were playing all sorts of thoughts, both good and fear in ways, and worries and concerns. We took yesterday just to take in the information, so to speak. We are both very happy about the results, but it did take a minute it did take at least a whole night for the information to sink in. It's still not 100% sank in, and I don't think it will until we get that first scan or that first midwife appointment. It has sunk in a bit more. I am a bit more relaxed about the thoughts. I'm a little less worried. I'm a little less anxious. I'm more towards the positive emotions now, towards the happiness and the excited feeling and the thoughts of positivity and everything that's going to come with it. I know I'm going to hate the baby stage, where there's lots of screaming and sleepless nights, because I do not do well with lack of sleep. But thoughts are steadily getting more and more positive, which I knew they would. It was just that initial shock. The initial shock makes so many thoughts and feelings go through your body. It really does. It still feels weird to say I'm pregnant. So as part of the process, we referred ourselves to the midwife team. I also contacted my GP to let them be aware so they could update their details. Apparently the midwife team were going to do that for me, but I wasn't aware and just did it anyway. So I spent most of the morning filling in this thing called badger notes, and that apparently is where all my details are going to be monitored or kept for my records. So if I ever want to check any of my notes, I can have a look back on my notes. So I spent most of the morning setting up that. I'm currently, oh Coco, the muddiest of muddy bogs. Why are you playing at Josh Splashes? Dogs. So as I was saying, yesterday we just took time for everything to settle in, for the thoughts and the emotions to just be experienced, let's say that. And so today is the days where I have to go, right, I am allowed to exercise. I spent some time yesterday researching which types of exercise I can safely do. And it is actually most exercise. The only exercise they don't recommend is ones where I could easily fall over, which makes my job a bit difficult because the dogs can pull me over, but I am trying to take precautions. So after today, I'm only going to be walking one of the big dogs on lead at any one time, just to give me a less or smaller risk of falling over. But we know what my track record is like with falling over my own feet. It's dead. On top of that, my hay fever is playing up, which is not helping. Swimming will be fine. Running is going to be fine, so long as I don't overexert myself. Walking is going to be fine. Calisthenics is going to be fine. Mobility and flexibility is all going to be fine forms of exercise. They said the general rule of thumb is to obviously do a form of exercise where you've got a lower likelihood of falling over. Desi, get out those trees. Get out the trees. They do recommend doing exercise that has a lower likelihood of falling over. I do just need to be careful when going running that I don't trip up on anything. They said the best thing to do is not get to a point where you're breathless. So if you're at a point where you're breathless, really, really panting for air, or where your blood pressure is spiking too high, then you need to stop and take a rest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop all my running training plan, or the runner app and running training that I've got, because obviously that advises you to run at certain speeds, certain distances and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be able to push myself in that sense, but I don't want to lose my progress that I've made with my running already. I feel like this walking is actually making me a bit breathless, but it's just because of the hills. I don't do hills well, and it doesn't help that the dogs are pulling me at a faster speed than what I would usually walk. But I don't cast this as breathless, I just class this as energy usage. Breathless is when I'm falling over panting type thing. Either way, I am allowed to do a variety of different exercises, and the exercises I already do should be fine. I'm not going to do the runner plans just because I feel like they'll be too much for me and will make me push myself too hard. So what I'm going to do in regards to running is I'm basically just going to go out on a run. I'm going to walk when I need to walk, run when I feel like running or when I feel like I've got the energy to run, and I'm going to keep it to 5k or less, because 5k is already a good distance and I'm still working on building up to 3 and 4k. I'm going to keep my runs smaller, keep it to 4 or 5k when I do go on a run. That'll also save me a lot of time because it'll only take about half an hour to 45 minutes or half an hour to an hour out of my day. And then I'm also going to start really focusing on my calisthenics training and my mobility training, because there's going to get to a point in the next 9 months. Well, technically I'm already 4 weeks in. So there's only actually 8 months left, theoretically. Come on. No, I don't want stick. I don't want your stick. I don't want the wacky stick. I don't want to get whacked with sticks today. No whacking with sticks today, please. In regards to calisthenics, I am seriously going to need my calisthenics. Because basically in a few months' time, I am going to have a very unbalanced body. I'm going to have a lot of weight on my front end, which means I need to seriously work on my back strength, my upper body strength for helping me get up off the floor should I fall down, or having to get up off the sofa with the excess weight of baby. That still feels weird to say. So I'm going to need to work on my upper body strength to help me get up whenever I'm sat down. I'm going to have to work on my leg strength to help carry me with the excess weight. I'm going to have to work on my back strength to help support my back for the excess weight. And I'm also going to have to work on my core because I'm going to need that extra balance and stability with the excess weight on my front, as well as the fact that increasing your strength in your core can also help when the time comes for baby to arrive, if you know what I mean. I actually need to focus on my calisthenics and mobility now over my running training, which is nice. I'm actually looking forward to that. And at the same time, it's also going to be very intriguing to see how I improve. So the plan for today's exercise, after I finish with my dog walks, is to head home, possibly get a small snack or something to eat, banana or an apple, something like that. Alfie, please don't trip me up, mate. So yeah, maybe get a small healthy snack like a banana or an apple, or maybe a couple of grapes. I've also made myself a banana and strawberry smoothie type thing for later in the day. I've got another wacky stick to whack me with. Luckily, me and Jason actually went out and did a massive veg shop not too long ago, so we've got loads and loads and loads of healthy stuff in, which we always actually have healthy stuff in, but we've not been on a veg shop, or we've not been to the farm shop for a good few months now because of lack of time. So good timing on our part to go get the veggies in and all the extra fruit and everything we're going to need to keep me healthy and to help development of the baby. Still not 100% sunk in. It's a lot more comfortable to talk about. It still feels weird to talk about, but it's more comfortable to talk about. Like I was saying before, I got distracted. I'm getting distracted really easily at the moment. Plan for today is when I get home, if I'm not too tired and I don't need a nap, because fatigue is I'm really feeling the fatigue with this pregnancy. It was one of the things that made me wonder whether or not I was pregnant, was I got suddenly fatigued, but I wasn't having a flare up, so it made no sense for my anemia to be playing up. So it made no sense for me to be fatigued. But the fatigue is real. It's like I'm even walking on here, I can feel myself getting dozy, if you will, or getting a bit sleepy. It is real. The fatigue is real. So if I don't need a nap when I get home, if I do need a nap, I'll take a quick nap. But I do hope to try and get out on a small run today. And then when I get home, maybe after tea, do a bit of mobility and calisthenics training, because I need to do it now more than ever. So here we are on our first run as a pregnant person. That still feels weird to say. It's a strange thought, a strange sensation that I can't really explain. I wanted to come on this run. I really badly wanted to come on this run. I'm just having a quick walking break because there's no training plan now. There's no speed requirement. There's no distance requirement. I'm doing this now purely for my own cardio and my own endurance, my own health, and for the health of my little minion, which by the way is the nickname we and Jason decided to give it while it's growing, is Little Minion. I say it because obviously we don't know the gender yet. I'm just having a quick walking break till I reach the 1k marker, which is in about 80 meters, give or take, and I'll have another little jog. I think it's nice to be out when the weather's nice like this. Cloud cover so it's not too hot, sun just to keep things bright and happy. It's really nice out here today. It's weird, I genuinely feel slightly different compared to previous runs. I can't explain the sensation, I can't explain how it's different. It's just, things seem to be happier. Everything around me seems to be happier. But as I was trying to say, one thing that I can't explain is the fear I have about exercising and going for a run. I know that medically and scientifically, exercise so long as you're not overdoing it, cannot hurt your baby. In fact, it's good for you and it's good for the baby because it gets the blood pumping, it gets the oxygen flowing, etc, etc. But I can't help be scared because it's the first trimester, and the first trimester is always the scariest because you can miscarry at any minute, and it can all go down the floor, all go down the drain, so to speak. So it is scary because I don't want to over push myself and overdo myself and cause something to happen, but at the same time I know it's going to be good for me, and I know it's going to be good for the baby if I do something. Trying to face that fear just to go out on a run is a weird sensation, but it's one that I do need to try and overcome, and I'm working on it. That's why we're out now. Speaking of which, I've just hit 1k. Time to go for another run. So I'm trying to keep my run slow. I'm trying to focus on breathing and just take it nice and steady, not overdo it, not push myself, not get breathless, just enjoy the run. That's the only goal right now, is to enjoy the run and do whatever distance I feel comfortable with. I have to admit, it's been the first time in a long time I've actually enjoyed a run, like just for the sake of going out for a run. Another thing that I like is because I'm not running for distance, I'm not running for time, I'm not running for training, I can just stop and do something like this. I don't know why I like that. I like that I can just stop and do a few push-ups or incline push-ups, or do a few tricep dips, because it's much nicer being able to exercise out here than it is at home, and it's nice not being feeling like you're stuck to a time limit or stuck to a training plan, so you've got to do X amount of distance, have a rest, X amount of distance, have a rest. By doing this I can just chill, just enjoy it, and just stop when I want, take a minute to enjoy the scenery, and then carry on running, stop and do some exercise, and then carry on running. I prefer this sort of chill method. Hello ducks. It's okay, you're fine. I'll go through you. Random ducks on the path. Why not? That's me done. I did 2.3k altogether. I'm now going to walk home as a cool down, do some stretches, some mobility and calisthenics when I get home. It's one of those, I could have gone further, but I was like, you know what, now I'm done. I feel good. I managed to run the majority of that. I'm just going to give myself a pat on the back on this occasion and just say, well done for facing the fear and nerves and worry and getting out on a run. Is it day 3? Can I class it as day 3? I don't know. He's back again. If you don't know who I'm referring to, go back and have a look at the video titled I've been trying to lose weight for 20 years, I believe it's called. Basically, someone commented on one of my videos basically accusing me of lying to myself, that I don't want to lose weight, that I'm not in a calorie deficit, that I'm lying about what food I'm eating, and making all sorts of accusations when they have no idea about me or my life or my personal situation, my financial situation, my medical situation. So I tried to educate them and explained all these scenarios, and they still fobbed it off and basically ignored everything I said and continued telling me that I was wrong. and that I was doing things wrong and stuff like this. And we ended up getting into a big conversation. So I said to him, right, what do you suggest I do then to get stronger and healthier that I am not already doing? And he listed off the most freaking, what's the word, common knowledge spiel that I have ever heard. Like everything you'll hear from every weight loss diet person ever. You need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to be this, that, and the other. Go watch that video if you want the whole spiel and how he actually made me feel and how bad he made me feel about that, because he basically accused me of lying. I really hate being called a liar because I do not lie. I do not like lying. I do not agree with lying. I always try to be truthful, and if I can't tell the truth, I will tell the truth without giving away the information, sort of thing. There's ways you can word things. Anyway, he's back again. He made a comment on one of my posts recently, and I want to tell you guys, or share with you guys, exactly what he said, because I couldn't help but laugh, because he essentially regurgitated everything he said to me in the past, which I just found hilarious because he clearly still doesn't believe me. Here is how it went. So the post is about me stopping running plans, and I posted it yesterday. At the time of the post, I knew I was pregnant, but no one else knew I was pregnant. No one at this point knows I'm pregnant except for my best friends, Simone and Vicky. They are the only people that know, and we're hoping to tell Jason's parents sooner rather than later, because just in case anything goes wrong, they've experienced that themselves, so they'll be able to be there for emotional support. But again, I will justify, no one knows at this point I am pregnant, and as part of the pregnancy I have been told not to actively lose weight, or not to specifically try and lose weight, because I don't want to affect the development of the baby. He does not know this. I have not for a very long time specified that I am trying to lose weight. I have not shown any interest in trying to lose weight. I have only shown interest in my calisthenics training, my running training, and getting stronger, more flexible, and things like that. Now, because I found out I'm pregnant, I did put a post out on the community page saying that I'm going to stop the long distance running and the training plans for now. The reason being, I am pregnant. Did not specify that in the post, but that is the reason. I need to stick to the smaller runs and just make it fun. And I've got flies everywhere, go away flies. I just need to stick to the smaller runs, make it more fun and enjoyable for me, just so I'm doing something but not overdoing it, just in case, because the last thing I want right now is to push myself to injury or make myself ill or cause something to go wrong with the baby. It still feels weird to say. It's still not setting yet. It's half setting. It's not there yet. In response to me stopping my running training plans and just doing running for the fun of it, for no other reason, doing running and doing exercise for the fun of it, this is what he had to say. It is very important you have a plan. As the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Except I do have a plan. I have a plan to exercise for the enjoyment of it, and not because I am trying to meet a certain distance or goal. I can see the willingness and commitment you have to get better, but it seems you can't be making any progress. Except I have been making progress. I have been slowly improving my distances. I have been improving my mental health. I'm making huge leaps of progress with my mental health. And I've also been making progress with my strength. I've been able to maintain my strength quite well, and back when I was doing exercise for fun, I made massive progress with my strength, and it was actually when I started trying to stick to plans that it all went downhill, and I ended up burning out because I was trying to be perfect and focus and do too much, and it was affecting my mental health, and I broke down. I burnt out. I found plans, or sticking to plans and training schedules, don't work for me, and that's okay. It's time to go back to the drawing board and change a few things. I'm getting freaking attacked by mosquitoes and gnatties, which is exactly what I've done. I've gone back to the drawing board. I have said, right, this isn't working for me. Plans aren't working for me. Training plans aren't working for me. Let's go away. Let's go back to the drawing board and do exercise for fun. Let's stop turning it into some big thing that I have to do and I have to stick to in order to get better at. Let's just do it for fun. Let's do it for the pure enjoyment of it. Let's do it because we want to do it, not because we need to do it. That's me going back to the drawing board, because that's what worked for me last year. Last year at the start of January, I made the most progress. Like in January, February, March last year, I made the most progress of every year I've ever tried, because I was doing it for the fun of it, not because I was sticking to a training plan, not because I was doing a certain thing. I was doing it because I wanted to. I was doing it for the fun of it, and that worked. So I am going back to square one. I am going back to the drawing board and starting from the beginning and learning from my past experiences. And here's where it gets fun, or in my opinion it gets fun. If you eat in a slight calorie deficit, like minus 400 calories, and walk for 30 minutes a day. Granted, I'm sat down now, but it is literally my job to walk for 2 hours a day. Walk for 30 minutes a day. Over 2 months, you'll see great results. Results for what? What am I looking results for? Like, what results are you referring to? How is 30 minutes a day of walking, when I already do 2 hours a day of walking, going to affect results when I don't know what results I'm trying, or you're thinking I'm trying to achieve? Now, if you adhere to a strict diet, thanks Enzo, of whole foods, you'll get even better results. You'll be more healthy and stronger. Keeping in mind, I told this person last time they left a comment on my video that I've been keeping to a very strict diet for the last 20 years of my life. In the last 2 to 3 years of my life, I haven't really had takeaway. 90% of my food is whole food or huel, which is nutritionally balanced. Oh, I've been bitten on the back. I eat rice, I eat pasta, I eat potatoes, I eat vegetables, I eat fruits, I eat proteins like chickens and fish and eggs. That is my diet. I don't eat biscuits. I am allergic to lactose, so I can't eat majority of biscuits, and I can't eat majority of cakes. I can't eat majority of sweets and chocolates because a lot of them contain milk. I can't eat a lot of processed food because I'm allergic to it, or I'm allergic to the ingredients that it contains. And the diet I follow was recommended to me by a dietary nutritionist because of my ulcerative colitis. It just shows to me that he's not been paying attention at all to anything I've ever said. It shows that he doesn't believe anything I've ever said. It shows he's being dismissive, and he's literally just spewing common, recycled, so heavily recycled freaking diet information. And it annoys the hell out of me because not everyone's trying to lose weight. Not everyone wants to lose weight. Not everyone's goal is to lose weight. Some people's goal is to just be happy with themselves. It's to be happy in the body that they're in. For some people, like myself, the goal isn't to get skinny. It isn't to lose weight. It's to be fitter and healthier so that when they do have children, if they do have children, they can run around after those children. They can play in the park with those children. They can take their kids on hikes and adventures and theme parks without getting tired. A lot of people who are slightly older than me, in their 40s and 50s, their goal isn't to lose weight. It's to be fitter and healthier so that when they're in the 70s and 80s, they can get off the floor without assistance. I don't know the age of this person. I don't know the lifestyle of this person. I don't know their own mental headspace or anything else. But believe me, when you get into your mid to late 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you don't give a shit anymore. You do not care about aesthetics. You do not care about losing weight. You do not care about other people's opinions about your body. The only thing you care about is being fitter and healthier so that you are not useless when you become old. So that you're not having to use all the equipment that you need and cost fortunes to get yourself up and out of your chair. When you reach your late 30s, 40s, 50s, the only thing you want to do is to be mobile, to be able to move, to be able to squat, to be able to get up off the floor, to be able to stand up if you fall down, to be able to not get injured if you fall down. You no longer care about aesthetics because guess what? We're old. We are old. I'm getting wrinkles. It's like they're not obvious. I am very fortunate, apparently, for my age, that I've aged pretty well, but we've got wrinkles. This skin ain't changing. It's like it's not getting any younger. It's not getting any fitter. It's not getting any sexier. It's a case of it is what it is. It's going to be a lot harder for me to lose weight. At this age, it's a lot harder to lose weight. When I eventually hit menopause, it's going to be ridiculously hard for me to lose weight. And who am I trying to lose weight for? I have a loving partner who adores me as I am. Granted, he doesn't ever want to see me severely obese to the point where I can't even get in and out of bed, but he loves me for who I am. He loves me as I am. I'm not trying to attract another person. I'm not trying to attract another boyfriend or another partner. I adore my partner. He is the most wonderful human being on the planet. He's the kindest, most nurturing, most sweetest soul I've ever known. In my eyes, he is literally an angel in human form. Hi, Walter. So I don't want another person. So why do I need to get skinny? Oh, you need to get skinny to be healthy? Really? According to my recent health check scan, my recent advanced enhanced health check, I'm perfectly healthy on the inside. I don't have diabetes, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have low blood pressure. I have minor increase in cholesterol due to the fact that I do eat a quite fair bit of cheese, but lactose free cheese, just to specify. But that's it. I have like 0.1 above the recommended cholesterol level. Other than that, internally, I'm completely healthy. Why do I need to lose weight if I'm already healthy from a medical perspective? Yes, there are things that can be attributed to obesity if that obesity is with an unhealthy life. What are you doing? Stop making it rain pollen. Oi, stop digging the roots up. No, you're not pulling down a tree. Don't care. I think it's getting bored. It's time to move on. Yeah, time to go back to the pond. All right. We'll go back to the pond. Enzo, get out my pockets. We'll go back to the pond. We'll go back to the pond. Let me up. Come on then. Back to the pond we go. And as I was saying, I'm already healthy on the inside as far as medically speaking. Granted, I am not where I would like to be physically speaking in regards to strength and level of fitness and endurance, but guess what? I still can't believe I'm saying this. I'm pregnant. I'm not allowed to actively try and lose weight now for the safety of the baby. If I lose weight, I lose weight. But I am not meant to be actively trying to lose weight for the safety of the baby. I do need to get fitter. I do need to get stronger. I need to improve my core, ready for when I have the extra weight. I need to improve my back strength to improve my extra weight. I need to improve my leg strength for when I have to start moving around and crouching with all the extra weight and to carry a baby around. I need to improve my upper body strength for when I'm going to be carrying the baby around a lot. But I do not, at this moment in time, need to lose weight. Anyway, mini rant over, and I hope that has given you guys a bit, or for anyone who is watching this, I hope that gives you a bit of reassurance that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be on a plan, you don't have to be doing everything perfectly. You can just do it for the fun of it. You can just do it because you find it enjoyment in it. Anyway, rant over. Regardless, today, after I finish my dog walks, we're going to head home. Me and Jason do need to go to Costco, so we're going to be doing a Costco run to get some essential shopping bits like salmon for me, because oily fish is an essential part of my diet. Or it is now anyway. Well, it was before. I always eat a lot of salmon, but it's even more essential now. So we need to get some salmon, we need to get more chicken in, we need to get some rice and honey and other bits like that. So we need to do a big shop at Costco. And I need to get some dog treats for you guys, don't I? So we're going to go to Costco, and then after we get back from Costco, I need to get some exercise done. And like I said, I need to focus on strength. I need to focus on my muscles. So we already did a run yesterday, and I'm not in the mood to run today because I've already done one run yesterday. We're just going to do calisthenics and mobility when we get home. If I feel like doing it outside, I'll do it outside. If I feel like doing it in the house, I'll do it in the house. I'll see how I feel at the time. Come on. That's how my day's going so far. In regards to the pregnancy, which still feels weird to say and talk about, I always planned on telling my best friend Simone, because she told me from day one about her pregnancy, and it's one of those I always intended on telling her from day one about my pregnancy, so that I have someone going through this journey with me. My best friend Vicky, or my other best friend Vicky, has been trying to have children since we were 30. And we grew up together. Like, she is one of my oldest friends. Me and Vicky have been friends since we were toddlers. And we've been through so much together over our lifetime. And she's been one of the most supportive and caring friends I've ever had. And I'm very grateful that she's still in my life. But her and her husband have been trying to have kids since we were 30. I think it was last year or the year before. I think it was last year. She ended up turning to IVF because they're struggling that badly. Now, I'm not going to go into Vicky's story because that's her story to tell. But as of yet, they have been unsuccessful, which breaks my heart. And because of that, she is desperate for kids, but because she has struggled so much, or they've struggled so much as a couple, it can hurt her feelings when she finds out someone's pregnant, or she finds out that someone she knows is expecting. And so when I found out on Wednesday, that we were now expecting, honestly, the first thought that went through my mind was, how am I going to tell Vicky? Not how am I going to tell Jason, because I knew he wanted children as well, so he was going to be, and he knew that we were trying, and he knew that my period was late, so I wasn't expecting a big reaction from him. But one of my first thoughts was, how am I going to tell Vicky? Because I want her to know. She's my best friend, she deserves to know, but at the same time, I'm terrified of hurting her feelings, literally terrified of hurting her feelings, and the last thing I want is to cause her any trauma or any negativity or any sadness or upset. So one of my biggest worries was, how am I going to tell her? So I was racking it in my brain. How can I tell her? When can I tell her? When will be appropriate? When will be the right time? How soon do I want to tell her? Do I want to tell her sooner rather than later, so that, knock on wood, nothing will happen, but if something does go wrong, then she knows what that feels like. We can support each other in that respect. But at the same time, it's like, would she want to know this early? I don't know. And I was really worried about it and really panicking about it. Anyway, I made that post yesterday about running, changing my 5Ks down to a slightly shorter distance. Originally, I actually had the wording, life has a habit of throwing me challenges and I've come across another setback. Now, I've used this wording 1,001 times. So I didn't think anything of it, because usually when I refer to a setback, I refer to I've injured myself in some way, shape or form. And so I assumed that that is how people would take it. Vicky was one of the first people to see my post. Not long after seeing that post, she messaged me saying, "Hi hun, how are you?" And I found this a bit weird, because she'd already messaged me that earlier that morning asking how I was. Next thing you know, she says to me, "I saw your Instagram post and I just have this feeling. Are you pregnant?" My face hit the floor. I was like, shit. Fuck, how? What? I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Like I said, I'm a truthful person, so I responded honestly. And I responded back saying, we're hoping to tell you face to face, because I was. But yes, I am. We only found out yesterday. And then I reiterated that I didn't know how to tell you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but how the hell did you guess? She basically had a sixth intuition, and from what I understand, because we message every other day or so, and from what I understand, she remembered that I was complaining I had a bit of a mood swing on Monday and that I was in a really low mood for no reason, and then I was complaining about being tired and fatigued. I was complaining about my hay fever playing up because of the congestion and stuff. I was complaining about my period cramps being crampy, even though there was no period. I didn't tell her there was no period, but I was complaining about period cramps. When was it? Wednesday morning, before I tested, I was saying how tired I was feeling, that I've been experiencing a bit of insomnia and I was really tired and fatigued. Basically, she knows that those are pregnancy symptoms. She just knows, like, it's just a sixth sense to her. And then seeing the post saying that life has thrown me another setback was just like another droplet added to the pond of curiosity that sort of made her ask. I suppose you could say it's a bit like a puzzle. And unknowingly, because I didn't know I was pregnant at the time myself, unknowingly I was giving her little pieces of this puzzle, and she was looking at the puzzle and there was only a few pieces missing, and she could see the puzzle clear as day. She guessed, and I panicked because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how she was going to react. I was panicking about her reacting negatively, and she admitted that it did bring some slight negative emotions which she couldn't help, which I understand, but for the most part she was overall happy for us and excited for us. They're waiting for a game of fetch in the pond. But overall she was happy and excited for us, which I'm so grateful for, and we had a really big long chat about it last night. Patience. That's not patience. We had a really big long chat about it last night. Go girl. That's also taken a massive weight off my chest, is her asking me instead of me having to try and work out how to tell her. In a way, it's relieved me, because that was one of my biggest worries, was hurting her feelings. It really was one of my biggest worries, was upsetting her, knowing that she's taking it in her stride. And she sees the good side of it as well. It really puts me at ease, and I am so grateful that she's going to be on this journey with me pretty much from the start. That's where we're up to in today's pregnancy journey and what's gone on the last couple of days. We're currently planning on how to tell Jason's mum and dad, which we're very excited for. I'm very excited to tell Jason's mum. She's going to be so ecstatic. I'm probably not going to record their reaction, even though I would like to, purely because it is a very personal thing. It's one of those, I would need to get their permission to put it on YouTube and stuff like that, and I don't want to deal with that hassle for such a intimate sort of scenario, because it is, they've wanted a grandchild for years, absolutely years. They've been looking forward to having a grandchild. Now we finally get to bless them with one, and it brings me happiness. It's like, one thing I've noticed over the last 2 days is the thought has started to settle a bit more that I am going to be a mum this time next year, and the planning and the thought process of how we're going to tell everyone, and we've literally been planning it out, where approximately when my 12 weeks is going to be, when is going to be around about the right time to tell everyone. And I'm going to be about 14 weeks for my 37th birthday, so we agreed that it would be a perfect opportunity to get the family together for my birthday and tell them then, and essentially announce it, because that way I'm not stepping on anyone's special day, I'm not doing it in a private event, it's not weird because we're getting everyone together for no reason. We are going to be making the announcement for my 37th birthday weekend, which for me is going to be a wonderful birthday present, and hopefully it's going to be a nice surprise for everyone. But that is the plan. As for Jason's mum and dad, we are writing them a thank you card to thank them for everything they've done for us over the years and for helping us to buy our new first house, because they have helped us a lot to buy this first house, and my mum and dad as well have been so generous, letting us live in the house we're in now rent free and just pay the bills until we could save up. But we're basically going to give them a thank you card saying thank you for everything, and the card is going to be written in the perspective of the baby, or little minion as we're calling him, her, them. I'm not even 5 weeks in yet. I'm nearly 5 weeks, but I'm not even 5 weeks in yet, so we definitely don't know the gender yet. But yeah, we're going to write the thank you card from baby's perspective to sort of surprise them, to say thank you for looking after us all these years and doing all this for us, and then at the very end saying my mum and dad are so lucky to have you in their lives, I can't wait to meet you next year, my grandparents, love from little minion. Which, writing that I was constantly bursting into tears from happiness writing that, trying to plan out how we're going to tell them and what would be the right words to use. Every time I read the word at the bottom saying my grandparents, I broke into tears, happy tears, but I broke into tears. And every single day that's going by where I'm telling myself I'm pregnant and I'm thinking about my future and how things are going to change and how things are going to happen and what exciting things are happening for me in the future, it fills me with happiness. It fills me with joy and happiness that I can't explain, which is a good thing, I suppose. The negative emotions are very quickly disappearing and they're being replaced with so many happy emotions.